Thank you for joining Wars of the Roses, and this is Fire Worship from the Encyclopedia of Freemasonry by Albert G. Mackey. Fire worship. Of all the ancient religions, fire worship was one of the earliest, next to Sabaism. And even of this, it seems only to have been a development, as with the Sabaists, the sun was deemed the universal fire. Darius, says Quintus Curtius, invoked the sun as Mithras, the sacred and eternal fire. It was the faith of the ancient Magi and the old Persians, still retained by their modern descendants, Perses. But with them, it was not an idolatry. The fire was venerated only as a visible symbol of the supreme deity, of the creative energy, from whom all things come and to whom all things ascend. The flame darting upward to meet its divine origin, the mundane fire seeking an ascension to and an absorption into the celestial fire, or God himself, constituted what has been called the flame secret of the fire worshippers. This religion was not only very ancient, but also very universal. From India it passed over into Egypt, and thence extended to the Hebrews and to the Greeks, and has shown its power and prevalence even in modern thought. On the banks of the Nile, the people did not indeed fall down like the old Persians and worship fire, but they venerated the fire's secret and its symbolic teaching. Hence the pyramids. Pyr is Greek for fire, the representation of ascending flame. And Jennings Hargrave shrewdly says that what has been supposed to be a tomb in the center of the Great Pyramid was in reality a depository of the sacred, ever-burning fire. Monoliths were everywhere in antiquity erected to fire or the sun as the type of fire. Among the Hebrews, the sacred idea of fire as something connected with the divine being was very prominent. God appeared to Moses in a flame of fire. He descended on Mount Sinai in the midst of flames. At the temple of the fire descended from heaven to consume the burnt offering. Everywhere in Scripture, fire is a symbol of the holiness of God. The lights on the altar are the symbols of the Christian God. The purifying power of fire is naturally deduced from the symbol of the holiness of the element. And in the high degrees of Masonry, as the ancient institutions, there is a purification by fire coming down to us, insensibly and unconsciously, from the old Magian cultus. In the medieval ages, there was a sect of fire philosophers, or the following, who were a branch or an offshoot of Rosicrucianism, with which Freemasonry has so much in common. These fire philosophers kept up the veneration for fire and cultivated the fire secret, not as an idolatrous belief, but modified by their hermetic notions. They were also called Theosophists, and through them, or in reference to them, we find the Theosophic degrees of Masonry, which sprang up in the 18th century. As fire and light are identical, so the fire, which was to the Zoroastrians the symbol of the divine being, is to the Mason under the equivalent idea of light, the symbol of divine truth or the grand architect. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment. And if you can, please consider donating to Wars of the Roses. Links to PayPal and Patreon are in the description. Thank you so very much.